Happy Friday, guys. All right, got a story for you straight off the bat. I think I might have told you this story before, so bear with me if I have. 13 years ago, had a mole on my left shoulder. I was pretty concerned about it. I went to a skin cancer specialist and said, look, I've got this mole. I'd like you to have a look at it. He had a look, said nothing to be concerned about. Don't worry about it. Phew, happy days. About a year later, fast forward, I'm still concerned about it. I'm not exactly sure why, but I thought, you know what, I want to get a second opinion. I'm going to go somewhere else. I went to a different doctor, told him the story, and he said, yeah, no, I'm pretty concerned about this. I think we should take a biopsy, which he did. Rang me a couple of days later and said, I need you back ASAP. It's a melanoma, and we need to get it out. So now I've got pretty decent scar on my shoulder from him taking out about 5 centimeters long, 1 centimeter deep, 1 centimeter wide, of my shoulder to ensure that we got all of that melanoma out. What concerned me was the words that came out of his mouth next. Jace, had you have left that another 6 months, it may have killed you. So the first guy said, nothing to worry about, don't be concerned. Luckily, I trusted my instinct, got a second opinion, because who knows what may have happened. Now, because of that, I go and get my skin checked every 6 months. There's a history of skin cancer in my family. I've now had a melanoma. I can't be too careful. I've had a basal cell carcinoma on my forehead taken out about 5 years ago. Had a little mark on my forehead here a couple of weeks ago. Again, I was a bit worried about. Went to the doctor and he took it out. And so I've got a few stitches here, another BCC. So why am I telling you this? Well, it leads into this week's Friday wrap. We're going to talk about trauma insurance. In our office, as a financial advisor, there's 4 types of insurance. We talk about life, TPD, income protection, and trauma. Today, we're going to talk about trauma insurance. What's trauma insurance? Trauma insurance, or critical illness insurance, is a type of insurance that will pay you a lump sum in the event of a trauma event, say. So things like cancer, heart attack, loss of limb, stroke, loss of eyesight. There's a number of events that will trigger a trauma claim. Upon, say, it's a weird way to say it, a successful application, meaning that you've suffered this trauma event, you'll be paid a lump sum. Now, a couple of things to note about trauma insurance. Trauma insurance is the most expensive of the insurances generally because it's the most claimed upon level of cover of those 4 that I mentioned. I've heard statistics from all the insurers. Basically, if every single Australian was covered by insurance of trauma insurance, 1 in 2 of them would make a claim. So those statistics are quite scary. We've got things where, people will say, oh, I've got private health cover. Private health cover is great. If you've got private health cover, it may pay for some of your costs, may pay for all of your costs. It's not going to replace your income. If you've got income protection, that will help with that. But generally, trauma insurance is there. It's a lump sum payment, which is designed to help with, the cost of treatment, the cost of recovery, if you do need to take time off work. So it's a lump sum payment. Trauma insurance has to be paid for personally. The policy is owned personally. You don't get a tax deduction for the premium. I'll explain the other types of insurances in coming weeks. But with trauma insurance, you pay it personally and you don't get a tax deduction for the premium. 62% of trauma claims are cancer, 24% heart disease, and others along the way. Cancer, the big one there, as you can see. And as I mentioned, cancer being one of the events that will trigger a trauma claim. This year, about 150,000 Australians will be diagnosed with cancer. About 400,000 Australians will be hospitalised with heart disease. You go through all of those trauma events that are possible, the numbers really do stack up. So that's today's wrap. Pretty short compared to other weeks, but it's just to give you guys an idea of insurances that are available to protect against, accident, illness, being out of work, death, disability, and that sort of thing. So I'll talk about the other ones in coming weeks. This week was trauma, because next week, hopefully, where am I? This side, I'm not going to have these stitches in my head, and the story won't mean as much. So today we start with trauma insurance. Hopefully that makes sense. If you've got a trauma policy and you want us to have a look at it, see if it's right for you, see if it's competitive in the industry, give us a yell. That's what we're here for. If you want to chat about insurances and go, oh, I've been thinking about this, maybe I should act, give us a yell. That's what we're here for. Okay, guys, enjoy your Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll talk next week. Bye.